this area of internet, in this area of globalization, is really to foster that, that dialogue between cultures. Because we really look at the world very differently, and all I will say, without sort of belaboring the point more, is that the key is looking at the world, to use that felicitous phrase in English, you should be willing to walk a mile in somebody else's shoes. Not just looking at what the person looks at, but essentially to walk in that person's shoes. That is something which is a very high level skill, and it's very, very rare.
There has to be a tripartite endeavor and exercise between the industry, between the government, between the institutions. See, because unless all three of them sit together and coordinate, there is no way that we can meet the kind of results that we're looking for. And I think this exercise has already started. And even in terms of the first couple of, I think, 2.3 billion people that have been trained since 2009, we have already trained about 2.3 million people. And I think it's largely because there has been almost a very, very close coordination. I mean, I know in some segments of industry, for example, automobile industry, construction industry. In the construction industry, in the last 2 years, I'm aware that the Construction Industry Development Council, along with NICMAR and in conjunction with some of the state-sponsored apprentice schemes, have trained a large amount of people on various skills involving the construction workers. And likewise, in the automobile industry, now there is almost a system of getting regular feedback from the industry. And also the sector councils also study the needs of the industry, and then they give the feedback to the institution. And then, unless, I mean, it all has to be coordinated exercise. Now, no segment can function in isolation.
What is the kind of education? What is the meaning of education now? I mean, it is being able to think critically and solve problems. It is being able to communicate, both in terms of receiving and getting. And it's the ability to sort of think openly, which helps with cross-cultural teams, and it's the ability to learn. And, you know, just to sort of reiterate this thing about the importance of liberal arts education, there's a reason why it's called liberal arts. I mean, like, if you look at the history of liberal arts, the Greeks sort of segmented their education into two compartments. And the liberal arts, the things about thinking, being able to learn, those were reserved for the citizens and the people who were free, which is where the sort of the liberal comes from. And the other more vocational skills, the engineering and those other skills were open to everybody else. So in some sense, I mean, while we've excelled in investing in skills that are less about problem solving and critical thinking and open thinking, I mean, I think that we sort of have to go back to those foundations that Dr. Mehta brought up, and because that lays the foundations for the skills of the 21st